Yeah, it was a nice little stint. I mean, wow, Zion really showed up. I mean, and everyone else kind of bounced off of his energy and him coming back from the injury and really kind of showing up. And I just think it rippled throughout the other guys on the team. They keep like talking about it in post game interviews. I mean, I think they've really bought into the concept of like that their brotherhood, and they're playing like that. I mean, they're playing very unselfish ball,
Yep.
lots of passes back and forth, really getting stuff moving. Like I said, they like you pointed out, they were moving down the court fast and free like Carolina does, which is usually not typically the way we kind of run on fast breaks. And I mean, and then in addition to that, our defense was just creating our offense. I mean, it was just it was great to see us have a strong defensive effort going into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, the beginning of this game looked like both teams were tired. After third
Yeah,
game in 3 days, it was and 36 all at the half, and no team was really like they're going to run, and then the other team were going to run, and it was a little bit back and forth there. But
yeah. I mean, they both had huge battles. Right before that, I mean, we played UNC, which was an incredibly fast-paced game. Two very good teams. In Florida State, played against Virginia Tech, who's
Virginia,
also very, or yeah, who's also very excellent. So I mean, just like a lot of battle. I mean, 3 days is just like a lot. Most of the time, these guys get at least 2 days of rest in between games. So
yeah, Zion and Trey both played 40 minutes. RJ played 39. Cam Reddish with like 37. I mean, they were basically playing the entire game at this point.
yeah,
Um,
at this point, it's just the will to win, that pushes you over the edge.
Yeah. Cam Reddish, he something about Florida State and Cam Reddish because the boy showed up again. No turnovers all game. No
Yeah, which is a
charges.
huge improvement.
Huge improvement. And he hit all his free throws. 6 for 6 or 7 for 7 from the free throw line.
Well,
And
he's as they pointed out last time, he's one of our best now, right? shooting
yes,
shooting at 76%, one of our best free throw shooters.
exactly. Plus the dagger. The dagger at the end. There it is. There's the dagger. Into Florida State. Beautiful stuff. Trey also with the defense, offense, everything, a career high for Trey Jones at the point guard. And there was a point in this game where we saw in the highlights that Florida State actually made a go of it in the second half.
Mhm.
They got within 5 points, but Trey Jones steadied the ship.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely came out very strong in at the beginning of the second half and played like a strong 4 minutes. I know RJ. I believe he said after the game that coach wanted to come out and kind of punch them first, which typically sometimes we have trouble doing. A lot of times we come out of a half, even like we're close, like tied at half or something like that, and we come up and give a little like 6 point run to the other team.
Yep.
But I mean, we did quite the opposite this time, and I think it's always, especially the second half, to win those first 4 minutes is always huge. It kind of sets the tone for the rest of the game.
You say it's like a huge mental win, not
Oh
necessarily
yeah,
like the fact that you're up in points.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I mean, you go into halftime, your coach is telling you like what you need to do and kind of gives you a game plan, and you like mentally convince yourself that, oh, if we do these things, then we'll be able to beat them. And then like and then you come out, and then like next thing you know, your close game just became like you're down, and you're like, crap,
Yeah.
like that didn't work, coach.
Whatever Coach K said, though, at halftime definitely did work. The first game since the beginning of February that all four freshmen are in double digits. It was actually, we only scored 73 points. It's not like we put up 100, but like,
Mhm.
a team win all around. We wanted to do a close look at Zion and Trey. Well, since we started the show, we haven't gotten to do like Zion much because he's been injured.
Yeah,
But he had one hell of a tournament here. We got highlights from Syracuse, Carolina, and Florida State here. Eric, I mean, we've run out of good things to say about this guy.
yeah. I mean, he definitely, you could tell that he missed not being part of the team, and there was almost a sense of urgency that he was playing with to kind of make up for that, to do his part. I mean, it's almost as if he channeled the energy from 6 games into three. I mean, just on it's funny because impressive as his offensive highlights are, I actually think his defense was one of the bigger keys. I mean, he just mantled people defensively and low. I mean, down low, he was just blocking people, rebounding. I mean, it was just an incredible difference that teams that some of them like Syracuse we played in the past like had to completely adjust to him being in there.
Oh, it's a
Just
block.
very
Oh
different.
man, he sized that one up from a mile away. And then you had a funny thing you said to me. I think you texted me. Zion cleans up all the screw ups.
Yeah, because he's there, and like normally we don't get those like little tip-ins. It's kind of like if we miss a short rebound or a long one, like usually the other team has it's a little more of a size advantage and can like box out and get rebounds, but he's just there and he gets a hand on it. It's enough.
Yeah, there's the defense against UNC. I mean, he's in the passing lanes. He's dunking. It's just
He has great anticipation. I mean, I think they said even being out those 6 games, he's like, did they say he's like the leader in steals in the ACC,
yeah,
which is like
still up in steals. Yeah.
which is still absurd. Like, I mean, that's absurd to think about it. 6'8", 285-pound dude, like breaking away. And, because if he misses those, that's a huge gamble. Next thing you know, it's 5-on-4 going the other way for him to come back around, but he gets it. He gets a hand on it.
And so perfect in his game against Syracuse, 13 for 13. His game against UNC, 13 for 19, actually lowered his field goal percentage. And I think he ended the tournament somewhere in the 70s.
Yeah. He's a smart player. He gets himself high percentage shots. I mean, in the paint. We seen him hit threes. He has a decent shot, but he knows it's not his strength, and most of the time it's easier for him to get to the rim with a layup than to just take the open three and settle. Even if he shoots it 30%, it's still a better decision to drive in most cases for him.
Exactly, and then the other key is Trey Jones, because
Yep.
having Zion back, I feel like all of Trey. Trey makes life easier for everyone, but especially when you have Zion, you can just throw it down there, and he's like getting assists like nobody's business at this point.
Yeah, I thought Trey was making great passes. I mean, even Zion was making great passes to Trey, but I mean, the guys were making great cuts, and he was getting the ball like right in stride when they're open. Nothing really like kind of out of their reach. Yeah, and I just thought it was good. The team chemistry seemed to be fully there today. Which is always great to see the last game before the tournament starts.
Yeah, before the tournament. And I mean, you had Trey looks like the Tyus of 2015. Almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
To be able to actually push
I think somebody asked him, they're like, oh, are you like your brother? It always seemed like, Tyus always seemed to step up in big games. And, he's like, I mean, I think it's just, it's about the will to win and, wanting to like do like more than you're part of your team, and just kind of, I mean, I think that's definitely, they grew up in the same household, so it's definitely comes from somewhere. They've been part of the same program by the same coach, and I think that's part of what being a Duke player is.
Yeah, B. Russman in the chat. I think Zion's bounce pass to Trey was the most amazing thing he did. I agree. That's why we gave it a full fireball effect in the highlights.
That's a nice little graphic.
Yeah. I mean, Zion's like just shooting. He had a baseball pass against the Syracuse game, and now he's just shooting fire out of his hands.
Here's a question, because I've noticed him doing this. I think Zion has created a brand for his left arm. He has he has his little trademark like flex, right? And then after these passes, he kind of like he'll hold it down and like look at his hand, and like he's impressed with it, but like he didn't know where it comes from. And like I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I bet if he created a Twitter account for just his left arm, it would get a decent amount of followers.
Almost as many as his Instagram.
I was like, this is 2019. A golden egg has the most followers ever, so like I'm pretty sure his arm could also get sponsored by something. So.
The other amazing stat, Zion in 3 games has broke the record for scoring with 81 points. He was 7 points shy of breaking Jason Tatum's 88-point record for a Duke player, but Tatum did it in 4 games.
That's right.
Zion did it in 3. So it's super impressive stuff.